people talk in the halls and stuff. So Tom, our general manager, doesn't really have a lot to do. He doesn't. There's no way, because the other day he was caught scraping bumper stickers off the Jock Lounge walls. And, you know, it just seems to me if you're really busy running a company, there's no way.
Mike Bloomberg ever scraped bumper stickers off anything. He was building a great company.
And let me say something, Robin. There's nothing wrong with being the guy who scrapes bumper stickers, but if you're the general manager, I just figure you're so busy that you might put someone else in charge of that.
Yeah, and he did it for like a half hour.
Right. So anyway, and the guy golfs a lot and everything, and he claims he golfs for business purposes, but who knows? I'm not going to debate that.
Things to do.
But this one was unbelievable. So the music director, this is the way I heard the story. The music director, what's our music director's name?
Mike Peer.
Mike Peer. He's walking around, and he's kind of like a rock and roll guy. He's got the blonde dyed hair and everything. You know, it's a rock station. We work for a rock station here in New York. So, and it's an alternative station, which means everybody's sort of rock and roll who's in the programming, and a lot of guys with piercings and tattoos and the blonde hair and all that kind of thing. So Mike Peer his job is to meet with record company guys and listen to rock and roll records.
Right, they sit in his office and play records.
That's what his job is, and they play records, and if he hears something good, he brings it to our program director, Steve Kingston. Mike Peer is sitting around the station the other day listening to records, because that's what his job is. And the Yankees were in the World Series. He's wearing his Yankees hat, the cap that has the New York Yankees logo. Yeah. Tom walks by and gets crazy, furious. Take off your hat. How dare you? This is a place of business.
This is a place of business. Is it inappropriate for you to be wearing something that is a sports garb nature?
I think first he asked him, why are you wearing it? Mike said, I'm trying to be a New Yorker, it's a spirit thing. He goes, well, this, that's unprofessional, he told him.
No spirit here.
When did, I know there was this big move in the 70s and 80s to make radio stations more professional, because a lot of the jocks show up in jeans and everything. And the sales department used to show up in jeans. So there was a big move to say to the sales department, look, you're going out on business meetings. You can't show up in jeans. You got to wear a business suit like any other business.
Right.
But why would the music... There's a fun aspect to working in a rock and roll radio station. You hang posters on the wall of rock bands, which, by the way, I don't think Tom likes. He wants to make a corporate... The guy so badly wants to be like in charge of an IBM or something like that. This has a heart and a soul. It's supposed to be fun. So everybody has been going crazy. It's like, well, you can't wear a New York Yankees cap. And I think where it comes from is Tom wants to control stuff, and he wants to sort of present some sort of weird professionalism, but it's a rock and roll radio station. The guy's in the wrong business.
I mean, does he really want the music director of an alternative station to be wearing a suit and a tie?
Yeah, but he's like, well, not as... Because even someone said, well, what about all the piercings and tattoos? He goes, well, that's different. And I'm like, no, it's not different. It's like he's wearing a Yankees hat.
And, it's bad.
He's not wearing a dress.
Did it make the guy from Incubus take his hat off?
After I heard the story, I asked Mike Peer, and he said, John... New York is having so many problems, and I felt good that the Yankees were, as if they won those 2 games. Yeah. He was like, I was feeling good about New York, and Tom comes and just kills it.
I don't feel like there's a lot of fun at the radio station.
No, not with Tom.
No. Well, the other day, I guess 2 guys who work in the promotions department, this is dumb story number 2. 2 guys, and how does Tom have time to go around monitoring people's hats?
This is what he's doing.
Yeah, and I guess the guy was wearing the hat backwards, and Tom said, maybe if the hat was on forwards... But it is on backwards.
Oh, no. This is a separate story. This is dumb story number 3. This is KC was wearing a hat backwards once, and Tom was saying you should wear the hat the other way.
Why does he bother my staff?
That was something different.
Where is Tom? I got to ask him about this stuff. I mean, he's got...
Yeah, Howard, I was just walking down the hall, and I had my hat on. It was just backwards. And he said... You got to turn that around or not wear it.
But here's the school marm. He wants
to walk backwards.
Maybe this is his Catholic school upbringing.
But hold on, Howard. This is a discrepancy. He let KC wear the hat.
No, this is a while ago. I think he changed.
So he changed his thing.
Now you can't wear a hat.
No, you can't wear a hat.
I think Tom's trying to be like when Mel Karmazin runs our company, and Mel used to sometimes walk through the halls and say if he saw people wearing a T-shirt that had another radio station logo on it, he'd get upset. And I understood that.
Yeah.
But maybe this is Tom.
A Yankee hat?
Maybe Tom's trying to be like Mel in some way. But you know how he warped? He's like Bizarro Mel.
Oh, God, he envies Mel.
I know.
But I think also, didn't he say something to Mike about the fact that men aren't supposed to wear hats indoors? And that
he gave
another reason.
But he's the music director.
At first he said, he said to Mike, what are you jumping on the bandwagon? Because, Mike was never a Yankee fan.
Right.
And Mike said, well, Tom, I'm feeling good about New York, so I thought I would wear the Yankee hat. I'm trying to rally around the Yankees.
Look how Tom talks to people.
Then Tom said, well, you know what?
You're jumping on the bandwagon. What does he care if the music director jumps on the bandwagon?
Why would he know? He should be too busy.
You wouldn't even know what the music... Who even cares about the music director?
I don't know that he's not a Yankee fan.
Who cares about Mike Peer?
Then he said, well, it's unprofessional to wear a hat. Take it off. And Mike goes, Tom, you kidding, right? And Tom goes, no, I'm not kidding. Take the hat off.
Oh, he's such a...
You don't wear a hat at this radio station.
Where's Tom? I got a hat. Is he here today?
He's here.
He's got to be hiding out.
He usually gets in, Howard. Oh, gosh, he should be in by now. Actually, he's usually not now.
He's got to be hiding on this one.
Right. He must be under his desk. Check under there.
What's Tom doing? And here's dumb story number 3.
Here he comes.
Oh, here he comes. Here's dumb story number 3. Tom, what's with the hat thing? Are you crazy? This is a radio station. It's rock and roll. It's fun.
Absolutely.
But Mike Peer, wear a Yankee hat. What do you care?
I was busting his balls.
Yeah.
And I don't really care.
Why do you have time to bust his balls?
I do.
How do you have time for this? I want your job.
Wait a minute. He's saying Mike Peer took off the hat.
Yeah, he took off the hat. I heard that you were serious.
You get crazy. You do. You get crazy with this stuff. You think you're running IBM.
Did your mom and dad teach you to not wear a hat when you're indoors?
Yeah, see, that's
but how did he?
Yeah, he made him take off the hat.
But hasn't life taught you that your mom and dad weren't always right?
Always no.
Right. Your mom and dad aren't always right.
Yeah, really. Right.
And what did your dad do for a living?
My father was a professional, a manager, a personnel manager.
No one wore hats in his office.
A union mediator.
So maybe in that kind of...
many hats, his father.
Your father wore hats of many men.
Owned his own business.
Yeah.
Airline delivery business.
I guess he never wore hats indoors.
My father didn't wear hats.
But you know it's rock and roll. I mean, he's not a sales guy.
We're real liberal on the dress code.
So what will you do? Oh, you mean we can wear hats at the station?
Yeah, I don't really care.
I can't believe
manager.
I'm shocked.
All right, he reversed his policy.
Yeah.
In a day.
Yeah. So then, all right, whatever.
I heard. I haven't talked. Mike,
I don't understand that.
I
don't understand something though.
I love to hate John.
No, hold on, Tom. Why did then? Really why when I asked? I heard the story not from Mike, but when I asked Mike about it,
I don't know how you could hear from anybody other than Mike, because Mike is the only guy.
I swear,
I heard about it from someone other than Mike.
I swear on my mother's life, I did not hear from Mike.
Mike's afraid of you.
I did not hear from Mike, but Mike afterwards, and he said that you made him take it off, and he didn't find any.
I didn't make him take it off. I suggested to him that he took it off, and he took it off.
And then he asked you if you were serious, and you said yes.
I said semi.
What was the suggestion?
I said semi.
Semi-serious?
Yeah.
Why? I don't understand why you care.
Why did you make KC turn his hat around?
Yeah.
Tom.
Yes, Dave Letterman.
You don't think I know who Dave Letterman is?
All right, there's Dave Letterman. Dave, go ahead.
I just want to tell you one thing, Tom. I'm losing my hair. You know what I'm saying? So I need to wear a hat.
Right. Dave Letterman wears a hat.
Yeah. You know, Howard, the other day, it is getting out of control. He's ruining all the fun. I was doing coke off my car key. And Tom gets all bent out of shape. I'm like, it's rock and roll.
Tom, it's a radio station. Artie needs to do coke.
Do it off the table.
All right, I'll tell you. Tom did something else the other day. I heard about.
Yeah, this is another.
This is unbelievable. This is worse than the hat. So, okay, one of our sponsors was here. He's having a meeting with the promotions department. Yeah. The promotions department is, like bunch of kids.
They work with Tom to make the bumper stickers.
They make bumper stickers.
No, K must be bigger.
Xbox was here. Xbox is a new sponsor. Microsoft put out this fun game box, in the station rock and roll. We're giving away.
We're helping, right? We're in the promotion.
Yeah. So, two of the guys in the meeting had toothpicks in their mouths. Tom reamed them.
Tom did not
ream. Ream.
I love your example.
You have a toothpick.
You are violating the toothpick rule. Section 114.
It's a no toothpick zone.
I know you're dealing with a lot of younger kids and stuff, and you got to keep them in line, but,
ream?
Reprimanded.
What's worse, a hat or a toothpick?
Toothpick.
Toothpick, why?
So what did he say to the toothpick people?
I didn't say
No. You don't see toothpicks at this station anymore.
He started on that.
What did you say, Tom?
I went to their supervisor and said, either you can talk to him or I will. Right. When we have clients and we have meetings, I don't think it looks professional for guys to be sitting there with toothpicks, pulling them out of their mouths, inspecting the remnants of what may be on those toothpicks. You know,
Howard, you should know that these guys are actually, their real name is, they're called the Street Team. And they dress in like cool clothes and they're out in the van. You know,
they're the rock and roll kids.
Street guy.
Right. And they're the guys who would be into the Xbox.
Yeah, one guy's name is Neckbeard, they call him.
Yeah, I'm going to wear a hat.
Excuse me, Mr. Neckbeard. To work today?
Take those pajamas off.
Hey, Howard, let me say something.
I'm going to wear a hat made out of toothpicks.
Could I interject?
Yeah.
The Xbox guy, from what I hear, he was dressed like a hippie, too. He wasn't in like a suit.
I was talking about how they would dress, John. You know, it had nothing to do with how they would dress.
I'm saying it wasn't like a suit and tie meeting is what I'm saying.
It had nothing to do with
Why were you upset that the music director jumped on the Yankee bandwagon late?
Oh, my God.
Johnny come lately?
Can I not have a conversation at the station that doesn't get back to you?
I monitor everything.
Believe me. You know how
when John said that he didn't hear it from the music director, he's absolutely right, because you're the guy in charge, so when you do anything, it's...
And can I say something, Howard? There are people who... I can't tell some stories that I know because those people are afraid of Tom, but I got to tell you off the air. But because it even gets scarier, but I
like Tom doing the bumper sticker shavings.
That is the greatest one.
That is such a crock.
Half hour. We clocked you. You ran a time clock on you. A half hour you were shaving bumper stickers.
They're using a lot of glue on the
I'm not full of it.
Absolutely.
Tom, are you denying that didn't happen? Are you saying that didn't happen?
John, you know what?
Swear in your life.
What?
You didn't scrape bumper stickers off the other studio window.
Stood there.
I can't believe our general manager is making fun of my stutter.
That's inappropriate.
Isn't that horrible?
Look at him.
While I was having a conversation.
He still mad I beat him in golf.
Oh, man. All right, Tom. That's it. That's the end of the segment.
Wait a minute.
Dumb things Tom has done.
I really need to know why you can't wear a hat backwards.
Why not a hat backwards?
I don't care how he wears a hat.
No, Casey was...
You made him turn his hat around.
I really don't care how he wears a hat.
But you did make Casey turn his hat around. You will admit that.
Sure, may have. Just to bust his
balls a little.
Just to let people know who's in charge.
I can't. You sit in here 5 hours, and I have to go, and so I endure this. I can't have my little 30 seconds of fun.
But I'm not the general manager. You have a different position. It's not appropriate for you to bust people's balls.
I think
people take you seriously.
I think my position allows me to have some fun.
All right. Okay. With the interns and the 20-year-olds who are just starting out, Casey, whether he wears his hat backwards or
how some of our interns dress.
Right.
Hey, speaking of,
oh yeah, that's right.
How long ago was that?
All right, go ahead.
A year and a half ago.
Go ahead.
But you know one thing that makes
me I was right.
One of the interns was turning Tom on.
And I was right.
He was turning you on. You're right.
Yeah, go ahead. What is it?
By the way, what's that intern doing now?
What is
because she's stripping now.
She's wearing a Yankees hat.
Thanks to you.
Tom got her stripping.
She's a very nice girl, and that's fine.
You know what's amazing about Tom?
Stripping in
what is amazing about Tom?
How old are you, Tom?
I'm 54.
Tom's 54.
Looks good.
He's had some health problems, and the guy still looks great. You know we have a hot intern here. She's a Rockette. She totally digs Tom. She thinks Tom's like the hottest guy.
My girlfriend thinks Tom's the hottest guy.
She's right out there now, too.
Robin thinks Tom's the hottest guy.
Who doesn't think Tom is hot? That's the question.
Me. Until you talk to him, he's hot.
He's a himbo.
He's a himbo. Let me see the girl who's hot for you.
Kidding, man.
Which one is hot for Tom? I don't even know the crop of interns.
Thinks that's incredible. Tom is an extremely attractive man.
Tom, want to see a girl that lusts after you? You might as well.
I know she's very nice. It's you know what? You really should embarrass her this way. You two look good together. I'm very complimented. Thank you.
Your shirt is too low. Too low cut. Do you like toothpicks?
Honey, I'm going to pretend I didn't see that.
You don't wear a hat, do you? Her microphone isn't on.
She's perfect.
You're very attractive for your
Thank you. I mean,
takes good care
we didn't have to say for my age.
He's ugly for 32, though.
For my age.
Wait, I can't hear her. I'm having trouble. There's so many people talking.
I'm sorry.
You're in love with Tom?
Not in love with Tom. He's attractive for his age.
Right.
You know?
You don't have to say for my age.
I noticed you crossed yourself. You're a religious girl?
No, this is so bad. I'm so embarrassed. Tom.
It's fine.
But, you know, I think he's nice looking.
Thank you.
You could be getting her.
She's very pretty.
Take off your top.
Thanks.
If Tom was single and he asked you out on a date, you would possibly go?
Oh, I don't know about that, but...
That's a yes.
No, it's not.
No, I think it was a no.
Wow, Tom.
And thanks for the donuts. He brings everyone donuts. So that's
young girl like you could take Tom's mind off a hat.
Oh, God.
And bumper sticker.
You're not kidding.
Have you seen his Porsche?
No. You were a Rockette?
Yes.
Good for you. Oh, really?
What's she doing interning here? I didn't know that was a...
We're thinking of putting on a musical like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Well, you're talking about the musical today. I don't know. I didn't really like it, the Buffy Vampire
No, of course
thing.
not.
Let's see a couple of leg kicks.
Yeah, no.
Do you do the
stretch
kicks?
out a little.
Come on.
Wow. And
Tom.
Tom, you could be dating a Rockette.
Not at all.
Right.
Not at all.
She could wear a hat.
Does Radio City still use the Rockettes?
Sure. Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're still around.
Howard, they're 75 years old this year. You didn't know?
We're still kicking.
No kidding. My parents used to take...
Thanks.
My parents used to take me to Radio City Music Hall.
Yep. They just redid it and everything. So.
And before the movie would start, they'd show the Rockettes, and I'd be like, just start the movie.
I know. I fall asleep, too, but it keeps you in shape.
Because my dad's mouth would be watering as the chicks would be kicking.
Loved them, huh?
Yeah, he loved the Rock. And I'm like, because they're fabulous dancers.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, vey.
No, I know.
You know, I don't want to sit next to my dad while he's lusting.
Do the Rockettes do something before the Christmas show? I mean, is there...
Not really, no.
Aren't you going to march in the Macy's parade?
Some of us march in the parade. Some of us do that.
The Rockettes, before every movie at Radio City Music Hall, they used to have the Rockettes come out. Now you guys are just at Christmas time, right?
Just at Christmas time. They're trying to get us to do more, but really it's just the kick stuff.
Do you get decent money for that?
Yeah, you get paid pretty well.
How do you get paid? Like, I mean, what do you get paid?
It just depends on how many shows per week you do. It depends.
Really?
Yeah.
Per kick.
Per kick, yeah, forget it.
You want a shot?
I'll be kicking right now.
What are you doing here? You're a winner.
No.
You got a job.
Yeah.
Well, she certainly can wear whatever hat she wants, Tom, right?
Stop.
I have a box of toothpicks for you.
Does Tom ever stop in the hall and talk to you? And make,
No. I mean,
Oh, yeah, I have hit on her so many hours.
I don't mean hit on her. I mean to get to know you. Special guidance.
So bad.
Religious training.
Those donuts those munchkins come with a price,
Yeah, well, anyway, very nice. You and Tom look great together.
Thanks, Tom.
Tom's trying to impress her. He's like, honey, come here. I want to show you what happens to people who use toothpicks at this company.
Stop it.
I will be your mentor.
I will be your father figure.
Tom, how do you put up with that? Can't you fight these people?
16 years.
Well, Tom, listen, you've got to...
Yes, my dear friend.
Seriously, to go around worrying about hats makes it seem as if your job is trivial.
I will worry about the things I worry about.
All right. What college did you go to again?
Puppy City.
No, really, where'd you go to?
St. Bernard College.
St. Bernard, okay.
St. Bernard?
St. Bernard College.
Same as Puppy City.
Coleman, Alabama.
I think I got into St. Bernard College.
That's why you wear that big keg around your neck. But certainly...
It's not even there anymore.
Certainly you must be... fascinated with Tom.
No.
When he begins to talk about toothpicks and hats, do you lose interest in him, or does he become more attractive?
Not at all. Not at all.
Do you know the history of the toothpick?
I have no idea. No idea.
You ever seen a toothpick up close?
Well, anyway,
after it's been used.
There's the end of the segment.
All right, the Tom segment.
I'm
glad I could supply this 20 minutes of entertainment.
Don't you have some bumper stickers to shave?
Tom, let me ask you, can I ask you...
What is on his agenda for today?
What are you going to be doing today so everybody knows?
Banging a Rockette?
Hey, Tom, honestly, do you deny not shaving those bumper stickers off the window? Because I saw you doing it.
I stood there I had a conversation with Lewis that probably lasted 30 to 45 seconds.
Okay. All right, because I walked by twice. It didn't seem like 35 seconds, but whatever.
Well, when you
seemed like about 15 minutes.
John's like a kamikaze flyer, man. He just doesn't stop.
Listen, I'm in search for the truth, and I saw the truth.
John's like Geraldo. He's right on the front line.
The idiot Geraldo.
Right.
John couldn't stay anchored to that desk any longer.
Tom, I know it infuriates you.
When does it become the Howard Stern Stuttering John show?
Oh, I know. He just hates me.
He hates you on the air.
No, I don't hate you.
You know who wants to say the last word on all this? Dave Letterman.
That's right.
Go ahead, Dave.
I just want to ask Tom one thing. Tom, why aren't you in the mailroom checking for anthrax? This is a very dangerous situation, Tom. I want to tell you. I just want to make you aware that a lot of people are getting anthrax infestations in their, their ass, and they're not aware of it. And Howard, I'd like to check your ass for anthrax.
Well, you know what? We'll save that for later in the show.
Yeah, all right, sure.
All right, Dave. Dave Letterman with the last word on anthrax.
Can we get anthrax tests here, Tom? Is it?
What?
My kid's pediatrician said that we should be getting anthrax tests.
For here?
Yeah. Like every 2 weeks, actually, because we are, in a...
Our mail is all going to a central place now? I won't go into with the safety precautions we've taken with the mail. So
it's top secret. It is interesting though, because I did get mail yesterday that was postmarked October 24th.
Yeah, and I felt.
I swear to God, I'm not making that up. But hey, that's the price of safety.
Right.
I felt some of your mail was.
You know what was funny? Someone told me you have to send the mail to like separate companies. Every big company's doing it, and they open the mail for you. So that's part of the thing. So everything's been going great, except for one thing was missing. Fred's Playboy.
It was an empty envelope, Howard.
We got the Playboy envelope, but there was no Playboy.
And I like the way somebody didn't have the nerve to steal yours or mine or Robin's. They just had to steal Fred's.
Well, you know what? I don't mind if they take Fred's.
They knew Fred would never say anything about it.
You're right. We're going to be back right after these words.